What is going on, guys? Johnny GB here, bringing you guys week number 5 of the PMC. We are taking on the Colorado Rapidash. It is way too early for me, and the coffee has not yet kicked in. But we're back with some more PMC action and some more regularly scheduled PMC action. I do apologize for the week 4 battle being up a day late. But now we're back. Week 5, Sunday. Duckletts versus Rapidash, and you guys see the teams there. You guys did see the team builder that I actually put up. I know the last 2 battles I've said, hey, I'm going to have a team builder. Hope you guys saw it Saturday, and I uploaded, forgot to get it scheduled. Battle came out, so there's no point in me releasing the team builder. But yesterday I did make sure the team builder was up, and he brought an interesting team. I was not really expecting the Regice. It was a Pokemon that I'm like, it could come. I don't really see it coming. Espeon was another one that I was really iffy on him bringing, but we're going to hop right into this battle as I'm going to lead my Heliolisk. So Heliolisk, you guys saw in the team builder, is a Chillin' Berry, pretty much as a last-ditch quick attack Diggersby effort if it sets up a Swords Dance. That's pretty much what it was. He's going to lead off with Trishula, which is his Regice. Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Would have been good if it was a Kyurem, but it'll work. But I can click a free Volt Switch here. He doesn't have a ground type at all on his team. He doesn't have any electric immunity, so Heliolisk can come in at any time and get a free Volt Switch off. Doesn't matter, so I can go to my Mamoswine. I'm Assault Vested Mamoswine for 1. That's mostly to be a very good Zapdos switch in. And you know what? I can switch into Regice very well. I'm not really sure what Regice got. So I fire off a free knockoff here because he didn't really have a knockoff switch in for his team. And then he shows off Flash Cannon, which was beyond me. I did not know Regice got Flash Cannon because simply I've never played against a Regice. So Earthquake was close to a roll here. I wasn't 100% sure. It did a lot to my team, and he's going to make the good double, and he's going to get out into Galaxy Eyes, which is his Espeon. Now, I'm not afraid of Espeon. I can fire off Heavy Slams. I can fire off Leech Seeds, predicting him to switch out. And I just fire off the Earthquake to get damage on the Arcanine, because I didn't want to fire off a Leech Seed, him stay in, and then bounce back to me. So, Earthquake was kind of just my best play. His only other switch into Celesteela could potentially be Zapdos, but instead he goes to his Arcanine. He gets the Intimidate off, and I severely cripple this Arcanine right off the bat, which is fantastic to know that, hey, this thing pretty much can't switch into Stealth Rocks. Now, if I get Rocks up, the Arcanine's dead. But he's going to actually go to Hamon, his Zapdos, the Lord of Striking Thunder, as I make the double into Milotic. So he made a very good double here. He was playing very aggressive early in this game. He was making a lot of double switches, but Milotic allows me to get the Flame Orb up. So the Flame Orb will allow me to deal with Mimikyu to an extent, depending if he does have the Wood Hammer. If he has Wood Hammer, Milotic really doesn't care. I go out to my Mamoswine, which is pretty much my dedicated Zapdos counter. I am Assault Vested, so I can take Air Cutters, Heat Waves, and any electric moves. I'm just going to fire off a knockoff. Again, I have no reason not to click knockoff. If he goes into Regice, knockoff into Earthquake is a guaranteed kill. He goes to Espeon, which has a Chople Berry, and knockoff plus Ice Shard is able to knock out the Espeon, and bam, right away, the first kill of the game is now under our belt. He's going to go out to Shark Drake, which is his Blastoise now. My Blastoise switches aren't very good. At the moment right now, it's a mix of Celesteela, Milotic, and Mamoswine to an extent, depending on his move pool. As I go out to my Milotic, and I taking on his Regice. Now, with Regice, I can click Toxic onto it, I can click Scald onto it, but I know Regice gets Thunderbolt, so I'm going to hard switch into my Mamoswine here, trying to see if he does have that Thunderbolt, and he does show it off. So now Mamoswine gets a free Earthquake here. And pretty much, he didn't have anything that switches into Mamoswine comfortably. As Trishula is going to live with 1 HP, which is unfortunate, and Mamoswine unfortunately will go down to the Flash Cannon. I think he had quite a bit of HP investment. I know if he was not max HP, it was a KO, so a little unfortunate, but hey, you know what? Celesteela comes in, and Celesteela gets a kill, so there wasn't any need for me to go for Leech Seed or Substitute on the Celesteela. I can just pick up a kill because I am max defensive, and with me getting a +1 defense now, I can take a hit from Arcanine. Now, my misplay here is I clicked the Leech Seed expecting a Morning Sun. Seeing as he was an Intimidate bulky Arcanine, I was really anticipating a Morning Sun, and unfortunately I go for the Leech Seed here, and I do end up missing. All I need to do is really just click Earthquake, the Arcanine goes down. Now I'm +2 defense, and Mimikyu is no longer a threat. Mimikyu is pretty much just fodder for him at this point, but I unfortunately end up taking a Flare Blitz and getting burned at the same time, pretty much making Celesteela useless. Because I am physical. So at this point, Celesteela is just fodder, as it's going to pick up its second kill of the game, but with it burned, 67 HP, he has the Mimikyu. Yes, I'm +2 defense, but I'm taking burn damage. I don't have much recovery outside of leftovers and Leech Seed. Just a stupid play on my part to not just click an attack. All I had to do was just click Earthquake. The Arcanine goes down. But he still has this Zapdos that can come in and check me fairly easily. And I no longer have my Mamoswine. So pretty much my Zapdos switch in at this point is my Druddigon. So I'm just going to go hard into my Druddigon, and brand new addition to the team, as I did not do a transaction video for week 5, but brand new addition to the team. And you know what? I actually like Druddigon. We have a Stealth Rock Glare double attacking set, as here I am just going to fire off a Glare. Now, his Mimikyu can be a bunch of things. Osseo loves Mimikyu. He won Season 4 with Mimikyu. So there's a lot of things I know he can do with Mimikyu. I'm just going to go for the Glare to paralyze it, as he's going to show off that he is Lumberry, and this is where I got scared. So he's going to go for the Play Rough, and unfortunately will miss. Well, fortunately for me, unfortunate for him, miss the Play Rough, as I am able to get another Glare off, and now I can actually break this Mimikyu's disguise. And if I have Mimikyu's disguise broken, I can go into Celesteela. I can check it with Celesteela. Heavy Slam, even though I'm burned, will do a lot of damage to the Mimikyu. I also have stuff like Thunderbolt on Heliolisk. So at this point, I know I can check Mimikyu fairly easily. But instead, I decide I'm Sheer Force, so I'm just going to go in and just try for the Paraflinch. But unfortunately, do not get it, but Druddigon did what it had to do. It paralyzed the Mimikyu, it damaged it heavily, and to the point where Aerodactyl comes in and pretty much just wins versus his team. He still does have the Blastoise, which is a little bit of an issue, but Aerodactyl does take on the Mimikyu. I have enough speed to outspeed a timid max speed Zapdos, and I'm running Adamant Nature, so Aerodactyl will pick up a kill here. Doesn't matter if he was a bulky Mimikyu or not. Earthquake was picking up the kill. I could have ran Iron Head as well. But the Life Orb Aerodactyl just coming in. Goes out into Shark Drake, the Blastoise. Now, this is where I got scared too, because I don't have anything to switch into this thing. I have Heliolisk to check it, but I really don't have a switch into it if he clicks anything that's not a water move. He goes for the Ice Beam here, and he's going to do about 70% to my Heliolisk, which surprised me. I was amazed. Or, no, it doesn't do 70%. It does about 40% or so. But I was really expecting the Scald play. Main reason I did go out into my Heliolisk. I just clicked Volt Switch here. I figured he was going to probably stay in, go for Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, something along those lines. And lo and behold, he does stay in and go for the Dark Pulse. I probably could have stayed in and lived it with Heliolisk if I had clicked Thunderbolt. I could have gone Thunderbolt, then Volt Switch, and then been in a great spot. And it would have been good for differential purposes as well. Had I have done that now in hindsight, if I click Thunderbolt, no, I can take a Dark Pulse from the Blastoise, seeing how much Ice Beam did, and then Volt Switching for pretty much the end game. I just go for a Toxic here just to start getting some residual damage. I could have just sat here and recover spammed, but you know what, crits come in and such, so it was best for my Milotic just to Toxic, and the Toxic actually puts Blastoise now in range of Volt Switch from Heliolisk picking up a kill, which is actually good because it allows me to get into my Aerodactyl to take it allows me to get into Aerodactyl to take on his Zapdos. Now, if he is a Choice Scarf Zapdos, I am in a god-awful position. Yes, my Heliolisk resists electric, but it doesn't take hits very well. So, that is my one thing here, is if Stone Edge misses, I'm in a really bad spot because I have just Celesteela and I have Heliolisk. If he's a Choice Scarf Zapdos, I am in bigger trouble because I can only get one hit off with the Heliolisk. But he's not Scarf. He actually was Charty Berry, but with Zapdos or Aerodactyl's Unnerve, Charty Berry no longer works. And with that, we are advancing to 4-1 in the PMC with a 3-0 win over the Colorado Rapidash. Couple hacksy parts, stuff like my crit on Arcanine, the Play Rough miss, the full para, and it wasn't a clean battle, but it was fairly close. I mean, all my Pokemon have taken heavy damage, and shout outs to Dom for the team this week. Just was busy this week, and he managed to build a very good team to take on Osceola this week. We will be back next week taking on the Carolina Pyroars and the league commissioner Jspecks. So we'll be back next Saturday with that. But if you guys enjoyed this Week 5 battle, go ahead, like the video, comment your guys' support for the Oregon Duckletts, subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content. But with all that being said, guys, I am Johnny GB, and I'm out.